In the meantime, let's talk with Bree, actually. Bree has a question about essential oils.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Bree, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks. As always, I love to give you guys the hard questions that immediately set off a storm.
I am happy to take on essential oils.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you guys think about essential oils? Good, bad, smells nice? I don't know. What all do people claim about them? They make all kinds of weird medical claims, which I'm assuming you guys do not believe in.
No, they really, really do. And for me, I think some of them smell nice. I think that I'm kind of bummed there are like 4 options and that's it. Like they kind of like did the 4 and then they're like, okay, we're done now. I guess that's just what we're getting. But the claims around what they can do in terms of healing like medical issues or, you know, on the more wooey end, even, you know, more supernatural type things or like opening your third eye or your chakra or whatever. Like, I don't understand why people need that additional level of incentive to do something like make yourself a nice bath that smells like lavender. Like that's reason enough to get lavender essential oil. You don't need to believe it's also like, you know, stimulating your root chakra.
Well,
yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I feel like it taps into this paranoia that a lot of people have when it comes to medicine. And I don't think that we are doing a good enough job and we're constantly working on it. But, you know, if you belong to any group that doesn't get listened to by doctors, you know, which is most groups, you know, then you find that you need to take your own medical needs into your own hands. And when you do that, it creates this kind of specter of, oh my gosh, okay, what if I can't trust my doctor? You know, and so then it moves into, you know, this space where there's no real, you know, body to decide, okay, you know, this is a legitimate treatment and this one is illegitimate. And I believe that, you know, that whole essential oils thing, that's where it lives. That's where its roots are. And that's why it's so damn dangerous, because people will say, oh, you know, I was using the lavender oil and, you know, I didn't realize it, but, you know, within a week, my bunions went away or whatever.
We're just describing all these random properties to lavender oil.
I mean, you know, or people going, well, you know, this extract has antiseptic properties, and so instead of, you know, cleaning my wound, I'm going to rub essential oils into my wound. And then you have people who wind up getting really bad infections, people who wind up needing to have, you know, drastic things done at the hospitals because they've really hurt themselves, or in the worst case, you know, encourage people to not seek medical treatment when they absolutely need to, which causes people to die. I'd be really interested in hearing callers who support this essential oils stuff, because I got to say, you know, not only do we have a set of treatments that many of which we know don't work, others we don't have enough information to know whether they work, and they're being touted as, you know, sometimes supplements, which is better than replacements, but often as replacements to medical care. And
also, there are a lot of supplements that actually interact with real medications. So it's also very dangerous if you're taking, for example, St. John's wort, which is just a plant, and people pitch it as like, oh, it'll help you sleep or it'll relax you or whatever. And it actually interacts with birth control and makes it less effective. So like, doesn't help you sleep in the long term. I think, honestly, the biggest takeaway from not just essential oils, but a lot of these kind of healthcare scams is if people felt like they could go to their doctor and be heard and be taken seriously and not have to pay a butt ton of money, I don't think that they would be making nearly as much headway, right? Like, nobody would need to rely on essential oils if they actually had a doctor who listened to them, who knew what was wrong, and who could treat them without them going broke. So I think Eric is exactly right. It's a function of our failed healthcare system that this is even a conversation on the large scale. But also, like, I have essential oils because they smell nice and I like them. And if you use them for those reasons, that's fine. There's another side to this, which is it happens with tarot as well, where people who are who have branded themselves as skeptics will act as if even using these things, you know, makes you less skeptical or makes you lesser or makes you like inherently, you know, not as intelligent, not as clever as they are. And that's also not accurate, because it's a lot of, it's realizing, okay, this is a tool. How am I using it? Am I attributing to it things that cannot be backed up by evidence? Okay, that's a problem. Am I using this to better my life in some objective way that is not making supernatural claims or medical claims or things like that? Then sure, nothing is inherently immoral. Essential oils are not inherently bad. Nothing is inherently bad. It's just how you use that thing that then could be helpful or harmful. And so if you hear that somebody in your life is using essential oils, definitely, you know, figure out what that means. Could mean a bunch of different things, but don't jump straight into, oh, I can't believe you're one of those wooey people who don't go to the doctor ever, right?
Yeah, there was someone in the chat who said, I use cannabis oil and it works.
Yeah, that's...
For what? That's, what does it work for? Because...
I mean...
If you're saying that, no, I was just going to say, if it treats your anxiety, you know, if it helps you sleep or helps you with, you know, build up an appetite or whatever the case is, I feel like there's really good evidence that, you know, there have been studies that have pointed in that direction. That sounds really promising. If you think that cannabis oil is going to somehow cure some really bad diseases, you know, or if you think it's going to help... Like cancer.
I've heard that claim before.
Yeah. I've also heard people saying that, you know, oh, well, it can help with degenerative things like Alzheimer's and dementia. And I just have not seen evidence that has been convincing to me of that. And so just because you say cannabis oil works, for what? Specifically, it's just kind of like this blind spot in our brains where you hear it works and you go, oh, okay, I heard that works. For what? Do you have the thing? Because if you don't have the thing, it's not going to work for the thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Being specific and asking for clarification before you jump to conclusions, I think, is the key here. Bree, thank you for bringing up a topic that was weirdly invigorating and anger-inducing.
Definitely.
I was also going to say that, I mean, oh shoot, I think I might have lost it. But just that, like, I mean, back to the, like, it took until I was 30 years old to find a doctor that would listen to me.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that my partner, he's on dialysis. He takes like a ton of medications, and he's extremely careful about what he'll take in terms of like supplements, or even just he'll check with his doctor regarding certain foods sometimes because he's not sure how it's going to interact with those medications. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that people don't really seem to understand about that.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask. V, where do you get your essential oils from? Do you get it from like a store or from like an MLM?
No, definitely not an MLM. At least I hope not. I do know that most of them are not things I buy. There was a period in time where I think people intuited that I liked them, and so people just buy them for me. Like, I've gotten little kits of essential oils from like 5 different family members over the course of the last year or so. I'm like, I'll take them. Like, can never have enough, I guess. Okay. But
I mean, for a while, you were kind of that hipster at the coffee shop.
I was definitely, I was more in that hipster vibe for a little bit.
Yeah.
Had a lot of life coach friends.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Oof.
Yeah. But most of the ones I have now are, I hope that they haven't been bought by an MLM. But
we definitely recognize the major ones, and that's not on the label,
no doTERRA is crossing this threshold is one thing for sure.
a lot of essential oils are mixed up in MLMs. I think that also has a lot to do with some of the insane claims that get made about them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if people want to see more stuff about that, by the way, check out the Antibot.
Yeah.
The Antibot does awesome videos about MLMs. It is really worth a watch.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bree.
Thank you, Bree.
Thanks for taking my call.
Bye.
Bye.
Nope, don't drop.
Oh, right. Sorry. Okay. Well,
all right.
that I'm sorry about that. Okay.
Well,